Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Request everyone to rise up for the Aarti. जय श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की, जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, गौर निताय की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. एवरीवन. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Sitaram, 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 Jaya Sitaram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya 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 Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman 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 Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Gaur Nitai ki Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for joining for the Aarti. We're going to offer obeisance to Guru Parampara, so if you got some space you can bow down. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajika Acharya Stotra Sati Srimadji's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajika Acharya Stotra Sati Srimadji's Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardham ki Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai ki Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi ki Vrindavan Dham Mathura Dham ki Mayapur Dham Navadip Dham ki Jagannath Puri Dham Dwarka Dham ki Bhaktivedanta Manor Dham ki Harinama Sankirtan ki Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. We humbly request everyone to be seated for the Narasimha prayer.
Nandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Let's give a big round of applause. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhaktivedanta Manor. Thank you for taking part in the Aarti. So I just wanted to just let everyone know, this Sunday is going to be the Snana Yatra, which is going to be the, the bathing of Lord Jagannath over here. So a wonderful occasion for all of us to take part in the bathing of Snana Yatra, which is going to happen on Sunday. In the Haveli, it's going to happen. So that's one of the occasions that we have for all of us to take part in it. And then from the 17th of May, it's going to be the Purushottam month. A very, very auspicious month. Lord Krishna himself gave his name for this month. So very, very auspicious. And there's going to be candle lighting during this month from the 17th of May to the 14th of June. So that's another beautiful occasion. During that time, we read Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 15, Purushottama Yoga. It's a month of Purushottam, so we read Purushottama Yoga, chapter number 15 from Bhagavad Gita. And we sing the beautiful Chaurastikam, a nice bhajan during this month of Purushottam. So everybody is welcome to come and join us during that month. Very auspicious one. It's just like Damodar month. So a wonderful time for all of us to come together. And also on the 24th of this month, there's going to be London Rath Yatra, the most awaited Rath Yatra, and it's so joyful. If you have never had a chance to take part in the London Rath Yatra, this year is the time when you can come and join us. Thousands of people will be on the road. We will be all pulling the chariots of Lord Jagannath. And there can't be anything more joyful than pulling the chariots of Lord Jagannath, singing for Lord Jagannath, and just dancing for Lord Jagannath during that time. So wonderful occasion on the 24th of this month. And that's another occasion. So 3 occasions we have, 3 beautiful ones, starting from this Sunday as well. So please come and join us. And as you all know, we are all chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And does anyone know who's the picture behind? Who's it relating to? How many of you know about the Panchatattva? You can keep your hands up if you know the Panchatattva is. Now you know, right? Today? So you can see like how many, many times. So because we come to the Hare Krishna Mandir, it's nice to know about the reason why we are chanting, isn't it? So I'm going to just take a few minutes of your time to explain the reason why we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when we're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hara is another name of Radharani. So when we say in the mantra form, we say Hare. So Hare Krishna is basically referring to Radharani and Sri Krishna Bhagwan. We are first praying to Radharani always because Radharani is so kind and merciful. We are asking the blessings of Radharani to please help us in reaching Krishna. Radharani is there can't be any greater devotee than Radharani. So when we take the blessings of Radharani, our bhakti towards Krishna will be very successful. So always take the blessings of Radharani. Very kind and very merciful. So this prayer is a prayer to Radharani and Krishna. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a prayer. We are praying to Radharani and Krishna. Please accept me and please engage me in your devotional service. Right? And the reason why this Panchatattva is so important for all of us to understand, because you came all the way taking the trouble to come to Hare Krishna Mandir, and it is our dharma that we have to share this knowledge with you, right? So Krishna Bhagavan, as you know, in Bhagavad Gita, he mentions yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavite bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrajamyaham. Whenever there is a decline in religious principles, I descend myself. And 500 years, the land of Bharat was ruled by many other rulers, people from other places, right? So many invasions have happened. So 500 years at that time was ruled by a Muslim ruler, Qazi, in the land of Bharat. And at that time, Lord Krishna, because he mentioned that whenever there is a decline in the religious principle, and people have forgotten about Krishna, when the bhakti is going down, when people have forgotten the religious principle, that is when Krishna says he appears again. So 500 years ago, Krishna, it is mentioned in our scriptures, Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar, which means Bhagavan Sri Krishna has come in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not only Mahamantra, but it is the Nama avatar of Krishna. And Krishna personally came in the form of a devotee called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You can see the golden color dhoti in the middle, right? That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who came in the avatar of a devotee, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he came in the mood of Radharani. Why? Because in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna expands himself into Radha and Krishna. In Kali Yuga, again, both Srimati Radharani and Krishna come together in the form of a devotee called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he came in the color complexion of Radharani, he came in the mood of Radharani. Like how Radharani was such a great devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us that in the mood of Radharani, how to be devotional towards Krishna, how to do bhakti towards Krishna. Always asking, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? Always chanting the names of Hare Krishna Maha. So it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who has given us this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who has given us this message that in this Kali Yuga, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Gatir Anyata, which means in Kali Yuga, the simplest way and the most easiest way to attain Krishna Prema is by always chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay? So now you know the reason why we're chanting the Hare Krishna Maha, because Krishna himself came in the avatar of a devotee 500 years in a place called Mayapur to giving us this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Second from the left, blue color dhoti, that is Nityananda. And Nityananda is an incarnation of Lord Balaram. So Krishna and Balaram come again as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the color complexion of Radharani, Radharani was called as Gaurangi. Gaurangi means someone who's golden complexion. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came in the color complexion of Radharani, we called him as Gauranga. And here Balaram is called as Nityananda. Right? So, and here on the left, you can see white color dhoti, that is Advaita Acharya, who is an incarnation of Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. And it is Advaita Acharya who was sitting by the Ganges and praying to Krishna, please come and deliver the fallen souls. Please come here. In this Kali Yuga, people have forgotten about Krishna. So that is when Krishna, on the prayers of Advaita Acharya, he comes in the form of a devotee. So this time he did not come as Narasimhadev or Rama avatar, but he came in the avatar of a devotee to show us how to do bhakti towards Krishna. He himself comes and just like a mother, sometimes she shows her children, this is how you have to write alphabets. Does it mean that the mother doesn't know how to write alphabets? No, she's showing us this is how you have to write. So like that, Krishna came to show us how to do bhakti towards him. And second from the right, that is Gadadhar Pandit, who's none other than an incarnation of Radharani. Extreme right, wearing orange color dhoti, that is Srivas Pandit, and Srivas Pandit is an incarnation of Narada Muni. You know Narada Muni, right? Holding a veena in his hand is going. So all they're called as the Panchatattva, right? So it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who's called as Gauranga, and Nityananda who's Balaram, who has actually started this Sankirtan Yajna, going and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So don't you think we should glorify them, right? Can you ask everyone, keep your hands up in the air and let's glorify Gauranga, right? So just repeat after me, keep your hands up in the air. And this is how we're showing, they showed themselves that this is how you have to surrender to the Panchatattva. And just repeat after me, Gauranga! 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 Nityananda! Nityananda! I say Gauranga, you say Nityananda. I say Nityananda, you say Gauranga. Okay? Gauranga! Gauranga! Nityananda! Nityananda! Gauranga! Gauranga! Nityananda! Nityananda! Hare Krishna. In this way, just by doing this simple endeavor of surrendering to Gauranitai, the two deities over there, you have literally done a major expression of devotion towards Krishna. We have surrendered to the Gauranitai because they are so kind and merciful. When the Panchatattva, when we get the blessings of the Panchatattva, our bhakti life will advance in much, much better way. It will go much more smoothly. So let's just repeat after me the Panchatattva we will do and one round of chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? So just repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhara. Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. And now chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So one thing we want to give you. So one, We have told you about the reason why we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We've given you the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We told you who has given us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. Now we just want to give you one sloka before you go away. This is like your bakery takeaway. This is your spiritual takeaway. Right? So are you ready for that? From a very important chapter, because in this month we are going to be starting the Purushottam month. Very, very auspicious. From that Purushottama Yoga, chapter number 15, I'm going to give you a sloka. A very beautiful sloka, a very, very important sloka. So are you ready to repeat after me? Right? Mamaivamsa jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, mana shastra nindriyani, prakriti sthani karshati. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Mamaivamsa jeva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, mana shastrin indriyani, prakriti sthani karshati. Which means, Krishna Bhagavan is telling us, you are all caught up in these small, small identities. I am a wife, I am a husband, I am an Indian, I am a European, like this. But Krishna Bhagavan is saying, Mamaivamsa jiva, your highest identity is, you are all of you Jivatmas, you are part and parcel of the Supreme Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That is what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying, Aap sab log mera amsa hai. You belong to me. You are part and parcel of me. Some people say, I am God. We are not God. We are part and parcel of God. When we say, Aham Brahmasmi, it means not that I am God. I am part and parcel of the Supreme God. But Krishna is saying in this sloka, your actual identity is, you all belong to Krishna, but we have forgotten this identity. Krishna is saying, because you have fallen into this material world, we have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. So how do we reawaken our relationship with Krishna? By always chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is mainly meant to cleanse your heart and your mind, because it is mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapna, which means when you're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, your heart is compared to a mirror according to the Shastras. When your mirror is full of dust, you cannot see yourself, right? So many janmas, so many lives after lives, we have accumulated so many samskaras, so many impressions from so many lifetimes, so much of dirt is stored in our heart and even our mind. So by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it will clean our mirror-like heart. And when your mirror-like heart is clean, then the real love for Krishna will awaken in our heart. So as you keep chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the samskaras, vasanas, everything will be completely removed from your heart and your mind. It will be completely purified, and the real love for Krishna will awaken in the heart. And that's the reason why we're always chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so that real love for Krishna will awaken in our heart. So we never say, leave everything and come behind Krishna. We only say, Kaam karte reho, naam japte reho. This is the message. This is Krishna consciousness philosophy. Samsiddhim haritoshnam, which means do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. In this world, we are doing everything for my own sense gratification, right? But we are praying that we always do everything for His pleasure. Samsiddhim haritoshnam, do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. In that way, we will be freed from all the karmic reactions. We all know the law of karma, right? Why we are suffering. Somebody is suffering, we say because of his bad karma. If somebody is enjoying, we say because of his good karma. But how to lead a karma-free life, but do everything as an offering to Krishna. So when we do everything as an offering to Krishna, we'll become conscious of Krishna. And then we will do everything what pleases Krishna. In that way, we develop our Krishna consciousness. So I want to humbly thank each one of you for giving us the opportunity to serve you. Like as I said, starting this Sunday, we have Snana Yatra. Then we have 17th of May, which is going to be Purushottama month. Starting from 17th month, very auspicious month. And the 24th, we're going to have London Rath Yatra. So please make the best of it. And as we always, our humble request is, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and just offer some prasad in Krishna. Krishna will be with you 24/7. Thank you very much for giving us your opportunity. And we are going to be turning on to Prabhuji for some nectar from Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Ishamisha Vatarakan Tat Prakasham Shatat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samjnakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Saharitao Gauraraye Pushpavanta Chitra Shanda Tamonudao Yaradvaitam Brahmopanishadi Tarapyasya Tanubha Ya Atmantaryami Purushiti Sosyam Shavibhava Sharaishvaryai Purnoya Iha Bhagavan Sasvayamayam Nachaitanyat Krishna Jagati Paratatvam Paramiha Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunaya Vatirna Kala Samarpaitum Munatochvalarasam Sva Bhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundaradyuti Karambasandi Pita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuritu Vashachinandana Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shaktir Asmat Ekatmana Vapi Bhuvipura Deha Vedam Gitautau Chaitanyakyam Prakatamadana Tatvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhava Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Svarupam Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kirti Shovanaya Eva Svatyo Yenat Bhuta Maturima Kirti Shova Maria Saukyam Chasya Maranubhavata Kiddisham Veti Lobhat Tadbhavadya Samajani Shachi Garbha Sindhau Harindu Sankarshana Karanato Yashayi Garbo Dashayi Chapayob Dishayi Sheshashchayasyam Shakalasanittyanandakya Rama Sharanam Mamastu Mayatite Vyapivai Kuntaloke Purnashvarye Shri Chatur Vyuhamadhye Rupam Yasyodbhati Sankarshanakyam Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye Maya Bharta Janda Sangha Shrayanga Shete Sakshat Karanam Bodhi Madhye Yasyakam Shri Pumanari Revas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye Yasyam Shamsha Shri Lagarbo Dashayi Yannapyacham Lokasanghatalalam Yasyam Shamsha Shri Lagarbo Dashayi Yannapyacham Lokasanghatanalam Lokas Shashtu Sutikadhamadhatus Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye Yasyam Sham Sham Sha Paratma Kilanam Poshta Vishnur Bhati Duktapti Shayi Kshani Bharta Yatkala Sopyanantas Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapadye Mahavishnu Jagatkarta Maya Yasrajatyara Tasyavatara Evayam Advaitacharya Ishvara Advaitam Harinadvaita Racharyam Bhakti Samshanat Bhaktavataram Isham Tam Advaitacharyam Ashraye Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jayatam Surata Panga Mama Mandamater Gati Matsarvasva Paramboja Radha Madana Mohana Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Deva Prishtali Bisevyamano Smarami Sriman Rasarasarambi Vamshivatatastita Karshan Venusvanar Gopir Gopinata Shriyestuna Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Etina Thakur Goriya Ke Kariya Chena Atmasat Etinera Charana Vandong Tine Moranata Grantera Rampe Kari Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Tinera Smarane Hoya Vigna Vinashana Anayase Hoya Nijavanchita Purana Hare Krishna. We're reading from Krishna book. Those of you that are fortunate enough to still be here, we're going to hear something from this wonderful book written by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. He wrote many books, not the least of which is called Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is a remarkable way in which Srila Prabhupada presented the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, along with the essential tenets of our Vaishnava theology. And Srila Prabhupada said that our centers, our places really meant to give people the opportunity to hear about Krishna. So we're trying to fulfill that purpose of giving people a chance to hear about Krishna. Akrura, we're reading from the chapter entitled Ill-Motivated Dhritarashtra. Krishna sent his uncle Akrura to find out what was happening with the Lord's dear devotees, the Pandavas. Yeah, if you're familiar with the Mahabharata, then you're familiar with Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev. So they're very intimate friends, cousins of Krishna, his pure devotees. And they were suffering under the rule of Maharaj Dhritarashtra, who was very much blinded by affection for his demonic son Duryodhana. So yesterday we came to the point where Akrura, Krishna's uncle, is now advising Dhritarashtra on the wise course of action. So far he's been adopting a very unwise course of action in going against his nephews, the Pandavas, and even to the extent of attempting to kill them. So Akrura is, in no uncertain terms, telling him to desist from such a policy and telling him that he must change track if he at all wishes to be glorified in the world. So Akrura is continuing. He's addressing the king, Dhritarashtra. My dear Dhritarashtra, I beg to advise you not to be blind about the fact of this material existence. Just to let you know also that this is not a formal class. We're simply hearing from Srila Prabhupada and occasionally we'll stop to ask if anyone has any reflections or questions. And if something comes up that you find particularly interesting and you want to talk more about it, then just let me know. So, my dear Dhritarashtra, our Guru said, I beg to advise you not to be blind about the fact of this material existence. Material, conditional life, either in distress or in happiness, is to be accepted as a dream. One should try to bring his mind and senses under control and live very peacefully for spiritual advancement in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada writes, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that except for persons who are in Krishna consciousness, everyone is always in a disturbed condition of mind and is full of anxiety. Even those who are trying for liberation or merging into the Brahman effulgence, or the yogis who are trying to achieve perfection in mystic power, cannot have peace of mind. Pure devotees of Krishna have no demands to make of Krishna. They are simply satisfied with service to him. Actual peace and mental tranquility can be attained only in perfect Krishna consciousness. So this is very instructive. Srila Prabhupada is affirming that everyone in this material world is just the opposite of peaceful, always disturbed, whether or not they're karmis seeking enjoyable results of their work, or jnanis who are trying for liberation in Krishna's impersonal energy, or yogis who are striving for the perfections of the eightfold Ashtanga Yoga system. And of course the siddhis, the perfections, are also 8 in number. These are like magical powers that one can attain by the yoga system, which are really distractions. We talked about this yesterday. But whether one is a karmi, a jnani, or a mystic yogi, striving for special powers, one cannot have peace of mind. One can only achieve peace of mind when one is in perfect Krishna consciousness. Because the nature of the soul, the constitutional nature of the soul, is to serve Krishna, the Supreme. That is what we are made of. That is how we are built. And if we are situated in our true nature, our true eternal spiritual nature, then we will find peace. And any condition outside of that will not bring any peace. It's impossible. How can you be peaceful if you are not rightly situated? And yesterday we finished off reading a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, I think it was 266, where Krishna says, how can anyone who is not transcendently situated have peace? How, if you're not spiritually situated in your relationship with the Lord, which is natural and eternal, how can you be peaceful? And if you're not peaceful, how can you be happy? There's no other.
Have you ever met anybody that says I'm happy, but I'm not peaceful?
No. No. If you want to be happy, you must be peaceful, right? Must be peaceful.
Yeah. There's no happiness.
Yeah.
You see them, they're in pieces.
They're in pieces. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Thoroughly, huh? I'll get it. We read it yesterday.
Yeah, is it chapter 2?
Yeah. 66, let's find it. $220, $231, $252. I need like an AI companion. I just say, hey, I need this right now. 2 seconds. Okay. 66, right? It was 66. Yes. No, 60. Yeah, 66. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shantir ashantasya kutasukam. Right?
Read the context again.
One who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence.
Without which,
Without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Yeah, so anything other than transcendental consciousness in relationship with the Lord, servant and master, yeah, promising peace is simply, to be kind, false propaganda. And to be truthful, just a lie. A bold-faced lie. You want to, you can be peaceful, sure. Don't bother surrendering to God. You're God. You just have to realize it. Yeah, you can.
what's the peace formula?
The peace formula given at the end of the 5th chapter, right?
Is it 5:20?
529, I think. Bhaktaram yagya tapasam sarva loka maheshwara.
That if you want to be peaceful, you have transcendental.
Yeah, Prabhupada talks about that in the purport right here. Knowing Krishna as the supreme controller, the supreme proprietor, the supreme enjoyer, and the supreme friend of everyone brings peace.
What was it, 5:29?
529, yeah. Let's find it. No, not 529. Yeah, it should be 529. Yes, it is. Bhaktaram yogi tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantam ruchati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, like the enjoyer, everything meant for Krishna's enjoyment, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, the proprietor, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. It's interesting that when we're reading Krishna book, and so many different devotees are offering their prayers to the Lord, and Srila Prabhupada is also commenting, he really brings out the fact that Krishna is very kind to his devotees and actually wants us to be happy and peaceful, and he wants to he wants to satisfy us and our desires. But of course he knows what's good for us as well. So, even the little children, they have so many desires, but it's not that the parent can fulfill every single desire exactly when they want it. The parent has to have some discrimination as to what is also beneficial. So it's interesting that
In order to be happy and peaceful, we have to accept him as the supreme proprietor and the Lord of all, and his friend, and the beneficiary of all sacrifice.
yeah, that's what we have to do to be peaceful. Krishna owns everything. Everything is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. Krishna is really everyone's best friend. He's our true suhrid, well-wishing friend, dear friend.
If I think I want to be the enjoyer and I want to be the proprietor and the Lord of all that's obeyed, then there's a problem.
Yeah, I have a quarrel with reality.
Then I'm not free from the pangs of material misery.
Yeah, right. Because I'm not able to control. It's not, it's Krishna's energy, but I'm acting as if it should be mine. So then what will that bring out? Only frustration, isn't it? Things are not going as I anticipated, or...
We can't see him as our friend if we think that I'm the proprietor and the enjoyer. And he is.
Right, yeah, because now we're in competition. Right? I'm in competition. So how can you be friends with your competitor? I mean, if
He always wins the competition.
he always wins. He always comes out on top, and therefore it's envy 101, just This guy's always coming out on top, how to beat him, right? To the point that just let's ignore him, right? People just want to ignore him. Let's just pretend he doesn't exist, because then I can go about my business of dominating what I think should be mine. Yes. All the while being, fed like a baby by Krishna. Yeah. Thanks so much, Prabhu. So, pure devotees have no demands to make of Krishna. They are simply satisfied with service to him. Actual peace and mental tranquility can be attained only in perfect Krishna consciousness. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. After hearing moral instructions from Akrura, Dhritarashtra replied, "My dear Akrura, you are very charitable in giving me good instructions." All right, so this is Dhritarashtra's reply to the straight down the middle advice of Akrura. Right? He didn't pull any punches. So how is Dhritarashtra accepting this advice? "My dear Akrura," he says, "you are very charitable in giving me good instructions, but unfortunately I cannot accept it. A person who is destined to die does not utilize the effect of nectar, although it may be administered to him. I can understand that your instructions are very valuable. Unfortunately, they do not stay in my flickering mind, just as the glittering lightning in the sky does not stay fixed in a cloud. I can understand only that no one can stop the onward progress of the Supreme Will. I understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has appeared in the family of the Yadus in order to decrease the overburdened load of this earth." So this is very interesting. Dhritarashtra admits that the instructions he's been given are good, salient, but he's unable to follow them. This is quite remarkable. Yeah? How is this possible? Well, we might consider our own situation. Maybe we've been in situations or had experiences when we know what is the right and good thing to do. But because of a particular attachment, we're not able to do the right thing. Because we are just too controlled by our particular attachment in the moment. And therefore we fail to execute a proper course of action due to excessive material attachment. Srila Prabhupada writes, Dhritarashtra gave hints to Akrura that he had complete faith in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, he was very much partial to his family members. So this is the weakness. He was very, very partial, very attached to his own family members. In the very near future, Krishna would vanquish all the members of his family, and in a helpless condition, Dhritarashtra would take shelter of Krishna's feet. In order to show his special favor to a devotee, Krishna usually takes away all the objects of his material affection. He thus forces the devotee to be materially helpless, with no alternative than to accept the lotus feet of Krishna. This actually happened to Dhritarashtra after the end of the battle of Kurukshetra. How many people find this a little scary? This notion that if Krishna actually wants to do me a most special favor, he might make me materially helpless, such that I have no shelter other than the Lord himself. Anyone else find that prospect a little bit frightening?
I think we are not ready to
we may not be ready to accept. Yes. What he takes away from us, right? Because we are attached. Right? We're frightened because, hang on a second, I really want to keep this and this and this and this and that. I don't want it to be taken away. Yeah? I saw a cartoon a while ago. My daughter showed it to me. And there was a little girl, and she was standing before Lord Jesus. I can't remember what she had in her hand, but it was something small. And it was very, very, at that moment and in that space, it was very significant to her. She was very attached to this small item. Yeah, obviously. It was a toy. Yeah. It might even have been a small balloon, right? And then Lord Jesus was asking him to hand it over to him. Right? He had his hand stretched out. Saying like, give it to me, hand it over. And she was reluctant. She didn't want to hand it over. Yeah, because she was attached to that tiny balloon, or whatever it was. But then behind his back, behind Lord Jesus' back, he had this huge bundle of, wonderful balloons, large, numerous, multicolored. Yeah. She didn't see that, but that's what he had in store for her, and he was just requesting her to give over that comparatively pathetic thing she was clinging to. Yes? That's our situation all the time. Mm-hmm.
We get so attached, and then we don't want to let go because we don't trust.
Yeah.
Krishna's
We're not trusting.
ways.
Right.
That's why we don't want to let go.
Yes. And therefore,
We don't know what might be something better.
right. We're not convinced that there's something even better. So as we just mentioned a little earlier, the peace formula is to know and to trust that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And by seeing or by cooperating and participating in his enjoyment, we really enjoy. Prabhupada gave the example that, on a bicycle you can go so fast, but if you catch up the back of the car, then you'll go so much faster. So Krishna is really enjoying, and if we catch up with Krishna, or if we hold on to him in his enjoyment, then we will enjoy much greater than we can imagine. So Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the proprietor, and Krishna is the best friend. And he is really ready to give us something truly wonderful, something that we hanker for in our heart of hearts. Yeah, he can fulfill that. But because of not, as you say, trusting, then we are clinging to so many inferior things. And therefore it's necessary to hear about Krishna from a devotee of Krishna so that we gain trust, so that we actually develop faith required to come towards the Lord more and more and more. Did you want to say something else? Yes, trust. So, material attachment is a great obstacle. Now, it doesn't mean that one necessarily has to separate oneself from what one is already involved with. Right? That's not the requirement. The requirement for us is actually very simple. Jnane prayasamudapasyanamanta eva jivanti san mukaritam bhavadiyavartam stane stita shrutigatam tanuvang manopir ye prayasho jitajito pyasitaistir lokyam. Simply, stay where you are, right? You have your occupation, you have your family relationships. You don't have to change anything there. All you have to do is lend your ears to the speeches of Krishna's devotees. And those speeches are always glorifying the Lord. Give up the speculative process of trying to know the truth. Yeah, don't try to figure it out by your own tiny intelligence. Rather accept the verdict of the scriptures and Krishna's devotees who explain them. And dedicate your mind, your body, and your words to such speeches. And then naturally, causeless knowledge and detachment will come. If we are engaged in Krishna's service, which begins with hearing about Him, then Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prajita Janayatya Suvairagyam Jnanam Chayarahaitakam. Knowledge and detachment will naturally come along with your devotion to the Lord. And even though you're living with family, even though you have so many relationships, even though you're performing your work, there will be an internal detachment. Yes? An internal detachment. And greater attachment for Krishna and Krishna's service. Sorry, I can't hear it.
That's when you know that you're on the right path and you have that attachment from the inside.
Yes, and yes, internally you're detached, but externally you're performing your duties just as nicely as ever. Right? Just as well, just as nicely as ever, you're performing your work. You're
just exactly what he did when he was in the war of Kurukshetra.
Yeah.
He was the Sarathy of Arjuna. He was performing his duties, but on the other hand, he was serving his services at the goddess.
Right. He was fighting on Krishna's behalf. That was his service, actually. He had no personal interest in the. Actually, he didn't want to fight at all.
Yes.
That was his initial personal interest. Get me out of here. I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to have to face my grandfather and my teacher. I don't want to kill them. For himself, he was not willing to fight. But for Krishna, he fought to the best of his ability. Arjuna fought for Krishna.
No, Krishna was defending. Actually, he was with Arjuna. Just because of Arjuna, he came into the, in that area.
Yes, Krishna drove Arjuna's chariot.
Yes.
Right. Out of love for his devotee. But it was Krishna's desire that the war be fought. Right? It was Krishna who convinced Arjuna to stay on the battlefield and fight. Because Krishna wants. This is devotional service. What does Krishna want? Let me do that. So at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, yes, I am now free from doubt, and I'm prepared to act according to your direction alone. Whatever you want, that's what I will do. So he performed his same duty of fighting. He was a Kshatriya, he didn't give it up. Same duty, but now the duty is being performed specifically on Krishna's direction. So the detachment means detachment from my own personal enjoyment. That's the detachment. And the attachment is Krishna's enjoyment. I'm attached to giving Krishna enjoyment. And when I do that, I also enjoy. I participate in the enjoyment. I can't enjoy separately. That is our great material illusion. Our great material illusion is that we will enjoy separately from God. It's an illusion because it can never be. But with Krishna, we can truly enjoy it by cooperating, agreeing with Krishna's will. This is a very simple point, but it's amazing how we miss it. That if I really want to be peaceful and happy, I have to accept Krishna and submit myself to Krishna's desire and will, and agree to serve him in that. Then I can be happy, then I can enjoy, then there will be enjoyment. If I am concerned first with Krishna's enjoyment, right? If I'm concerned first with Krishna's enjoyment, I will enjoy it, no problem. But if I'm first concerned with my own separate enjoyment, I will only find frustration, disappointment. It's very simple. It's so simple that we'll easily miss it. Okay, shall we read on? Yeah? So we were saying that Dhritarashtra received the Lord's favor because Dhritarashtra lost everything. And in the end, Dhritarashtra had to surrender to Krishna through the Lord's agent of Vidura. Vidura came back to the palace. Vidura is a great devotee of the Lord, and he effectively rescued his brother. Dhritarashtra could realize two opposing factors acting before him. He could understand that Krishna was there to remove all the unnecessary burdens of the world. His sons were an unnecessary burden, right? Duryodhana and company were an unnecessary burden on the world. So Dhritarashtra, he had some recognition of that fact. And so he expected that they would be killed. At the same time, he could not rid himself of his unlawful affection for his sons. Right? Imagine, you're the father of 100 sons. You're the king. You know that they're all rotten. They're no good. They're not right in their attitude and intent. And you know that they're headed for destruction, and that Krishna has appeared on the earth for this purpose, among other things, but this is one of his purposes, that he is definitely going to get rid of this group of demons. But at the same time, he is feeling unlawful affection for his sons. He's attached to them just because of the bodily connection. Right? The soul has no specific, special relationship with those other souls, in all likelihood. Right? We take the bodily relationship to be very, very important. Right? Blood is thicker than water, they say. But actually, the bodily relationship is temporary. So it's an illusion, it's a dream, because it doesn't stay. You're related to someone through a bodily relationship in this life, in this way, and in the next life, you don't see them. You have a different father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, right? Or the person who was your friend before later becomes your enemy. Anyway, but let's stick to the bodily relationship. Yeah? Who I have a bodily relationship with in one life, I may not have a bodily relationship in another life. So it's not really very important. But every soul, regardless of what family they're born into, what nation, what community, what bodily relationships exist, every soul is related to each other through the Supreme Father, Krishna. Every soul is related. So when one is actually spiritually conscious, then one sees every soul as brother, sister. Yeah? We are all part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, Dhritarashtra's affection for his sons was unlawful. And as the king, he is supposed to be equal to all of his subjects. Not that he's favoring his own sons and trying to kill his nephews. Right? That's not the behavior of a good king. So he understood that Krishna had come to remove this burden of his own sons. And at the same time, he could not rid himself of his unlawful affection for his sons. Understanding these two contradictory factors, he began to offer his respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says, "The contradictory ways of material existence are very difficult to understand. They can only be taken as the inconceivable execution of the plan of the Supreme, who by his inconceivable energy creates this material world and enters into it, and sets into action the three modes of nature. When everything is created, he enters into each and every living entity, and into the smallest atom, no one can understand the incalculable plans of the Supreme Lord. This is so interesting, right? Dhritarashtra, he's speaking transcendental philosophy here, saying that when everything's created, Krishna himself as the Paramatma enters into the heart of every living entity and even into every single atom, right, as the Supersoul. And no one can understand the incalculable plans of the Supreme Lord. So Dhritarashtra has some knowledge of Krishna, who he is, what are his glories. After hearing this statement, Akrura could clearly understand that Dhritarashtra was not going to change his policy of discriminating against the Pandavas in favor of his sons. Because if he'd taken Dhritarashtra's advice, yes, what would have happened? If he had taken Akrura's advice, what would have happened? He would have given up his partiality for his own sons. He would have treated the Pandavas fairly. Yes? Maybe war could have been averted. But it's quite likely that Duryodhana and co. would have found a way to circumvent the blind king, and there would have been war anyway. And it was Krishna's will that this burden of the earth was diminished, was removed. So Dhritarashtra could say, well, it's all the Lord's will. What can I do? I'm part of it. But no, actually, he had a choice. He could have taken Akrura's advice. And he would have been glorified for that. He would have received credit for that. I'm sure Duryodhana and company would have found a way to pursue their own evil ends anyway. Right? Krishna, in other words, Krishna's will was not dependent on Dhritarashtra's decision. So Dhritarashtra had an opportunity here, but somehow he was not able to take it, owing to the attachment he had for his sons. So Akrura could understand that, okay, this blind king Dhritarashtra, he's not going to change his policy of discriminating against the Pandavas in favor of his own sons. Akrura at once took leave of his friends in Hastinapura and returned to his home in the kingdom of the Yadus. After returning home, he vividly informed Lord Krishna and Balaram of the actual situation in Hastinapura and the intentions of Dhritarashtra. Akrura was sent to Hastinapura by Krishna to study, right? Akrura went there to study the situation and to report back to the Lord. By the grace of the Lord, he was successful and informed Krishna about the actual situation. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 48th chapter of Krishna, entitled Ill-Motivated Dhritarashtra. Any thoughts, reflections, or questions before we move on to the next chapter? We're all good? Let's try to keep a little... Did you have something? No, you have to go. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, the temple room is an opportunity for us to hear and chant. Of course, children like to make noise. That's all right. If they're making too much noise, we might have to take them outside. I'll let you know if too much is too much. But at least as adults, then we should do our best to be as quiet as possible while the narrations are going on so that others can nicely hear. Chapter 49. Krishna erects the Dwarka fort. Has anyone been to Dwarka here in Gujarat? Yeah? Are you from there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you from Dwarka specifically or somewhere else? Near?
Yeah.
Okay. I met 3 students yesterday. They also came from Gujarat. And one of the girls said to me that she didn't get her visa for the UK until she first visited Dwarka. She had some trouble getting a visa. Then she visited Dwarka, right? Krishna's place. And then she got her visa, so she was giving credit to Krishna.
You believe in that one place, if you go in there, you are praying we want this one. You visit, and once I am coming in Dwarka, you 110% you complete your wish, and you are going by chance. You are going to Dwarka and place Darshan. Too many times.
Yeah? So Krishna is really showing up. Yeah? The Lord is kind, is He not?
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes we don't understand His kindness, but He's kind. He must be kind. So, chapter 49, Krishna erects the Dwarka fort. After his death, Kamsa's 2 wives became widows. According to Vedic civilization, a woman is never independent. She has 3 stages of life. So, this is according to Vedic civilization, which means Krishna's civilization. In childhood, a woman should live under the protection of her father. A youthful woman should live under the protection of her young husband. And in the event of the death of her husband, she should live either under the protection of her grown-up children, or if she has no grown-up children, she must go back to her father and live as a widow under his protection. It appears that Kamsa had no grown-up sons. After becoming widows, his wives returned to the shelter of their father. Kamsa had 2 queens. One was Asti and the other Prapti, and both happened to be the daughters of King Jarasandha, the lord of the Bihar province, known in those days as Magadha Raja, right? Bihar used to be Magadha. So Kamsa's 2 wives, they were the daughters of Jarasandha, and after Kamsa's death, they returned to their father's place. After reaching home, both queens explained their awkward position following Kamsa's death. The king of Magadha, Jarasandha, was mortified on hearing their pitiable condition due to the slaughter. When informed of the death of Kamsa, Jarasandha decided on the spot that he would rid the world of all the members of the Yadu dynasty. He decided that since Krishna had killed Kamsa, the whole dynasty of the Yadus should be killed. He began to make extensive arrangements to attack the kingdom of Mathura with his innumerable military phalanxes, consisting of many thousands of chariots, horses, elephants, and infantry soldiers. Jarasandha prepared 13 such military phalanxes in order to retaliate the death of Kamsa. Taking with him all his military strength, he attacked the capital of the Yadu kings, Mathura, surrounding it from all directions. Right, so now Krishna is under attack. Sri Krishna, who appeared as an ordinary human being, saw the immense strength of Jarasandha, which appeared as an ocean about to cover a beach at any moment. He also perceived that the inhabitants of Mathura were overwhelmed with fear. He began to think within himself about the situation of his mission as an incarnation and how to tackle the present situation before him. His mission was to diminish the overburdened population of the whole world. Therefore, he took the opportunity of facing so many men, chariots, elephants, and horses. The military strength of Jarasandha had appeared before him, and he decided to kill the entire force of Jarasandha so that they would not be able to go back and again reorganize their military strength. while Lord Krishna was thinking in that way, 2 military chariots, fully equipped with drivers, weapons, flags, and other implements, arrived for him from outer space. Krishna saw the 2 chariots present before him and immediately addressed his attendant brother Balaram, who is also known as Sankarshana. My dear elder brother, you are the best among the Aryans. You are the Lord of the universe, and specifically, you are the protector of the Yadu dynasty. The members of the Yadu dynasty sense great danger before the soldiers of Jarasandha, and they are very much aggrieved. Just to give them protection, your chariot is also here, filled with military weapons. I request you to sit down on your chariot and kill all these soldiers, the entire military strength of the enemy. Naturally, both of us have descended on this earth just to annihilate such unnecessary bellicose forces and to give protection to the pious devotees. So we have the opportunity to fulfill our mission. Please let us execute it. Thus, Krishna and Balaram, the descendants of the Gadaha king, Dasharha, decided to annihilate the 13 military companies of Jarasandha. Krishna went upon the chariot on which Daruka was the driver, and with a small army, and to the blowing of conch shells, he came out of the city of Mathura. Curiously enough, although the other party was equipped with greater military strength, just after hearing the vibration of Krishna's conch shell, their hearts were shaken. When Jarasandha saw both Balaram and Krishna, he was a little bit compassionate because both Krishna and Balaram happened to be related to him as grandsons. He specifically addressed Krishna as Purushottama, meaning the lowest among men. Actually, Krishna is known in all Vedic literatures as Purushottama, the highest among men. Jarasandha had no intention of addressing Krishna as Purushottama, but great scholars have determined the true meaning of the word Purushottama to be one who makes all other personalities go downward. Right? So even though Jarasandha was insulting the Lord, thinking that he was calling him the lowest of men, the true meaning of this Purushottama is one who makes all other personalities go downward. Purushottama. Purushottama, the Lord we know from the Bhagavad Gita, right? The supreme Purusha, the topmost person. But Jarasandha addressed the Lord as Purushottama. He thought that he was calling him the lowest of men. But, how do you say? Great scholars have determined the true meaning of the word Purushottama to be one who makes all other personalities go downward. So, right? Nobody can equal Krishna. Prabhupada says, actually no one can be equal to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jarasandha said, it will be a great dishonor for me to fight with boys like Krishna and Balaram. Because Krishna had killed, Srila Prabhupada says, because Krishna had killed Kamsa, Jarasandha specifically addressed him as the killer of his own relatives. Kamsa had killed so many of his own nephews, yet Jarasandha did not take notice of it. But because Krishna had killed his maternal uncle Kamsa, Jarasandha tried to criticize him. Right? You know, Jarasandha is protecting or siding with Kamsa. And Kamsa had killed his own family members, but Jarasandha is not taking exception to that, not finding fault there. But he has the audacity to find fault with the Lord for killing Kamsa. You know, he accuses Krishna of killing his own relative, but he's not acknowledging the fact that Kamsa was killing his own relatives in their infancy. Prabhupada says that is the way of demoniac dealing. Demons do not try to find their own faults, but try to find the faults of their friends. Demons do not try to find their own faults, but try to find the faults of their friends. Jarasandha also criticized Krishna for not even being a Kshatriya. Because he was raised by Maharaj Nanda, Krishna was not a Kshatriya, but a Vaishya. Vaishyas are generally called Guptas, and the word Gupta can also be used to mean hidden. Hidden. So Krishna was both hidden and raised by Nanda Maharaj. Jarasandha accused Krishna of 3 faults: that he killed his own maternal uncle, that he was hidden in his childhood, and that he was not even a Kshatriya. And therefore, Jarasandha felt ashamed to fight with him. Doesn't recognize, avajananti mamudha manusham tanamashritam. Jarasandha doesn't recognize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? The supreme cause of all causes. Cannot see. Right? You should be so lucky to fight with Krishna. But poor Jarasandha felt ashamed to fight with him. Next, he turned toward Balaram and addressed him. You, Balaram, if you like, you can fight along with him, and if you have patience, then you can wait to be killed by my arrows. Thus, you can be promoted to heaven. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that a Kshatriya can become benefited in 2 ways while fighting. If a Kshatriya gains victory in the fight, he enjoys the results of victory. But even if he is killed in the fight, he is promoted to the heavenly kingdom. Right, so 2 benefits are there, whether one is victorious or killed. After hearing Jarasandha speak in that way, Krishna answered, My dear King Jarasandha, those who are heroes do not talk much. Rather, they show their prowess. Because you are talking much, it appears that you are assured of your death in this battle. We do not care to hear you anymore, because it is useless to hear the words of a person who is going to die, or one who is very distressed. It is useless to hear the words of a person who is going to die, or one who is very distressed. You don't need to hear such words from such persons. In order to fight with Krishna, Jarasandha surrounded him from all sides with great military strength. And the sun appeared covered by the cloudy air and dust. Similarly, Krishna, the Supreme Sun, was covered by the military strength of Jarasandha. Krishna's and Balaram's chariots were marked with pictures of Garuda and palm trees. The women of Mathura were all standing on the tops of the houses and palaces and gates to see the wonderful fight. But when Krishna's chariot was surrounded by Jarasandha's military force, they became so frightened that some of them fainted. Krishna saw himself overwhelmed by the military strength of Jarasandha. His small number of soldiers were being harassed by them, so he immediately took up his bow, named Sharanga. He began to take his arrows from their case, and one after another, he set them on the bowstring and shot them toward the enemy. They were so accurate that the elephants, horses, and infantry soldiers of Jarasandha were quickly killed. The incessant arrows thrown by Krishna appeared as a whirlwind of blazing fire, killing all the military strength of Jarasandha. As Krishna released his arrows, gradually all the elephants began to fall down, their heads severed by the arrows. Similarly, all the horses fell, and the chariots also, along with their flags. The chariot fighters and the chariot drivers fell as well. Almost all the infantry soldiers fell on the field of battle, their heads, hands, and legs cut off. In this way, many thousands of elephants and horses were killed, and their blood began to flow just like the waves of a river. In that river, the severed arms of the men appeared to be snakes. Their heads appeared to be tortoises, and the dead bodies of the elephants appeared to be small islands. The dead horses appeared to be sharks. By the arrangement of the supreme will, there was a great river of blood filled with paraphernalia. The hands and legs of the infantry soldiers were floating like seaweed, and the floating bows of the soldiers appeared to be waves of the river. And all the jewelry from the bodies of the soldiers and commanders appeared to be so many pebbles floating down the river of blood. Lord Balaram. Does anyone have any thoughts, reflections, or questions at this point? This is a wonderful description. A little gory, right? But everything connected to Krishna is all auspicious and good for us to hear. Right? When Krishna wants to massacre, then he does it in style. Right? And all of these personalities, all of these living entities who were massacred by the Lord were benefited. Yes. If someone is killed by Krishna or in Krishna's presence, then they're liberated. So little gory, but good for all. Yeah?
No.
Who said no? Okay. Someone just came in and the first word out of their mouth was no. Haribol. Good for everybody. And for people who like such descriptions, then their desire to hear some of such things is taken care of. Krishna really knows how to do warfare. Lord Balaram, who is also known as Sankarsana, began to fight with his club in such a heroic way that the river of blood created by Krishna overflooded. Do we know who's giving class today? Pardon?
She's not here yet.
Those who were cowards became very much afraid upon seeing the ghastly and horrible scene. And those who were heroes began to talk delightedly among themselves about the heroism of the two brothers. Although Jarasandha was equipped with a vast ocean of military strength, the fighting of Lord Krishna and Balaram converted the whole situation into a ghastly scene which was far beyond ordinary fighting. Persons of ordinary mind cannot estimate how it could be possible, but when such activities are accepted as pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, under whose will everything is possible, then this can be understood. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is creating, maintaining, and dissolving the cosmic manifestation by His will only. For Him to create such a vast scene of devastation while fighting with an enemy is not so wonderful. And yet, because Krishna and Balaram were fighting with Jarasandha, just like ordinary human beings, the affair appeared to be wonderful. So it's no big deal for Krishna to create such a scene and to massacre so many soldiers along with his brother. Not such a wonderful thing because he's God, but at the same time, because they were fighting apparently just like ordinary human beings, the affair appeared to be wonderful. Can you imagine two personalities single-handedly massacring such a force of demonic soldiers? Krishna is wonderful. So now we're having Bhagavad Gita class. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Jaya Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava 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 Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Radha Gokula Nanda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Welcome everyone to Bhagavad Gita class today. So we're going to be reading from chapter 6. Does anybody know what chapter 6 is called? Are you familiar with the Bhagavad Gita? Yeah? You read sometimes? Yeah? Okay, so chapter 6 is called Dhyana Yoga. And today we're reading from chapter 44. So Dhyana Yoga is about meditation. Lord Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, and in the beginning he tells him about the importance of controlling our mind. How if our mind is controlled, then it's our best friend. But if it's not controlled, then that same mind can become our enemy by making us do things that are not good for us. And gradually, Lord Krishna, he speaks about the process of yoga, but then he's saying that actually the best type of yoga is bhakti yoga, because in this age it's difficult to control the mind, but bhakti yoga is nice because it enables us to engage our mind in various different activities by using our senses in the service of the Lord. And then Arjuna asks an interesting question. He says, what if somebody is not successful in the practice of yoga? What happens to him? Because, to practice yoga, especially if you're going to dedicate your life to it, then you may need to take time out from your work and your social life. But then if you're also not successful in that, then Arjuna's question is, does he lose on both sides? Like maybe he's not able to achieve so well in his mature life, and neither does he succeed in his spiritual life. So what happens to him? And then in this section, Krishna is answering this question of Arjuna. He says that you don't need to worry, because whatever progress you do in spiritual life, it's never lost. Like in mature life, if you don't achieve success in your business, then every effort you put into that is kind of wasted if you don't get the profit, right? But for spiritual life, it's not like that. Whatever you do, whatever little bit you do, every little chanting you do, just this time you're spending here, listening to the Bhagavad Gita, the benefit of that will always remain with you, even after you leave your body. It will stay with you, and it will mean that in your next life, you'll get a very nice body, because after the time of death, we have to change our body, right? And we don't know which kind of body we're going to get. What if we get, say, an animal's body, or a body in a country that's, in a war zone, or with parents that don't have any money? So that means our condition won't be very good. But Krishna says the yogi, even if he's unsuccessful, he's guaranteed in many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, on heaven, and after that, he gets a birth into a very good family, a righteous family, or a very rich family. And then from there on, he gets a chance to continue his spiritual life. And he starts from where he left off, right? Because when we come to school, everybody has to start off from ABC. But for spiritual life, it's not like that. You never forget. So wherever you left off in your previous life, you start off from that. So in this way, Krishna is encouraging Arjuna that don't worry, even if you're not able to achieve success in spiritual life, whatever little bit you can do, that's for your eternal benefit, and it's never lost. And so today we're reading from text 44. Krishna is continuing to explain the nice position of the devotee who engages in devotional service. So we'll start by reciting the Sanskrit. I'll recite one line, and then you can repeat after me. So we have it here on the board. Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate yavashopi saha jigyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyante yavashopi saha jigyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate yavashopi saha jigyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. Would somebody like to recite the verse? Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate yavashopi saha jigyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate yavashopi saha jigyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate yavashopi saha jigyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. Thank you. Okay, we'll do the word for word now, so you can repeat after me also. Purva, previous. Abhyasena, by practice. Tena, by that. Eva, certainly. Hriyate, is attracted. He, surely. Avashaha, automatically. Api, also. Saha, he. Jigyasuhu, inquisitive. Api, even. Yogasya, about yoga. Shabda Brahma, ritualistic principles of scripture. Ativartate, transcends. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So here, Krishna is saying that by virtue of his divine consciousness from his previous life. So because he already started his spiritual practice in his previous life, he's carrying that divine consciousness with him. And so he's automatically attracted to the yogic principles because he remembers from his previous life that I was doing this and I was actually getting some satisfaction from this, but then somehow I got distracted. But now, again, he becomes enthused to continue his practice. And so, so such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Okay, so we're going to read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Advanced yogis are not very much attracted to the rituals of the scriptures, but they automatically become attracted to the yoga principles, which can elevate them to complete Krishna consciousness, the highest yoga perfection. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7, such disregard of Vedic rituals by the advanced transcendentalists is explained as follows. Aho batashva pachoto gariyan yajjiva vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juvahu sarshnurarya brahmanuchurnama grananti yete. O my Lord, persons who chant the holy names of your Lordship are far, far advanced in spiritual life. Even if born in families of dog-eaters, such chanters have undoubtedly performed all kinds of austerities and sacrifices, bathed in all sacred places, and finished all scriptural studies. The famous example of this was presented by Lord Chaitanya, who accepted Thakur Haridas as one of his most important disciples. Although Thakur Haridas happened to take his birth in a Muslim family, he was elevated to the post of Namacharya by Lord Chaitanya due to his rigidly attended principle of chanting 300,000 holy names of the Lord daily. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And because he chanted the holy name of the Lord constantly, it is understood that in his previous life he must have passed through all the ritualistic methods of the Vedas, known as Shabda Brahma. Unless, therefore, one is purified, one cannot take to the principles of Krishna consciousness or become engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna. So, before I begin to speak on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, I'd like to first offer some prayers to our teachers, by whose grace we have received this knowledge. If you know the prayers, you can sing along with me. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshururmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'll read the verse once again. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Okay, so in this verse, there are two kinds of principles described. First is the yogic principles, and the other is the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So can anybody say what the difference between these two is? Yogic principles and ritualistic principles. The transcendentalist is attracted to the yogic principles, and he's not attracted to the ritualistic principles. Yeah, so the yogic principles, first let's define yoga. What is yoga? Yoga, you know what yoga means? Meditation? To connect, yeah. Yeah, so usually when we think of yoga, we think of like meditation, right? Exercises and like this. But the literal meaning of the word yoga is to connect to the Lord. It comes from the English word yog, to connect. So, yeah, yoga is actually meant to connect us to the Lord. And that's why we often do these usually it starts in the beginning with like pranayam, asanas, meditation. And this is all to help us to become physically fit and mentally peaceful, so that we can meditate on the Lord and in this way connect to the Lord. Yeah, so this is the aim of the yogic principles. So yogic principles means those things which help us to connect to the Lord, to come closer to the Lord. And so the aim is the Lord. But whereas these ritualistic principles of the scriptures, the aim of these principles is our own sense gratification. So in the Vedas, there are many different ritualistic sacrifices described. Like if you worship this demigod, then you can become very wealthy. If you worship this demigod, then you can get a very beautiful wife, or you can become famous. So like this, there are different rituals, but everything is selfish. It's not really to do with God. So although it looks like it's religious, because you're doing sacrifices and lots of rituals but it's actually in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says Dharma projita kaitavo paramo, that all of these cheating religions, Srimad Bhagavatam describes this kind of religion as cheating, because it looks like religion, but it's not actually religion, because it doesn't have anything to do with God. The aim is not to come closer to God. So that's why this devotee who has practiced already has some understanding of spiritual life, he's not attracted to these kind of ritualistic principles. These ritualistic principles or demigod worship is also further described in the Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter. It says, Kamaistaistar Hrita Jnana Prapadyante Anya Devata, that men of small intelligence, they're attracted to this goes like this. Yamimam pushpitam vasham pravanantya vipashitam vedavadarata partha nanyad asiti varina. That men of small intelligence, they're very much attracted to the flowery words of the Vedas, which describe different sacrifices for the gradual attainment of heavenly planets, opulences, and so forth. And being desirous of sense gratification, they think that there is nothing better than this. But the Bhagavad Gita says these people, they have small intelligence. They're not able to understand that actually this is not the ultimate benefit we can get in life. The ultimate benefit is to develop a spiritual connection with the Lord, because all of these things are temporary, right? Even if you get so much wealth, if you get the perfect family situation or whatever position in society, at the time of death it will all be taken away, and then you'll have to start again from zero in next life. But spiritual assets, or the advancement we make by practicing spiritual life, that's never lost, even at the time of death. So we carry that with us. That's why the intelligent person, the person who has some knowledge of a spiritual life, he engages himself in activities which can give him eternal benefit. Even at the time of death, these activities are, the benefit is not destroyed. Yeah. So here we have the nice example of Haridas Thakur. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Haridas Thakur, he was an associate of Lord Chaitanya, and he was honored by Lord Chaitanya by being made the Namacharya, even though he was born in an apparently low family. But Lord Chaitanya recognized his exalted position because of his attachment for chanting the holy names of the Lord. And he wasn't interested in doing any other activity. He would just sit and chant all day long. And he had full faith that this was all he needed to do to grant him perfection. So there's a nice verse actually in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It goes, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakalya Shanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Shanta. That the bhukti means those who are after material enjoyment. The mukti kami means one who is after liberation. They want to, get free from the sufferings of this world. Usually they want to just merge into Brahman because they're so fed up with all kinds of frustrating relationships in this world, so they don't want any more relationships, they just want to merge into Brahman. Or the Bhakti Mukti Siddha, or they're the yogis, they want to attain the mystic perfections of yoga. All of them are ashanta. Ashanta means they're not peaceful because they're after something for themselves. They're like, I need to get this for myself, so I need to work hard, and yeah, they're not peaceful in this way. But it says Krishna Bhakta, Nishkam Ateva Shanta. Only the devotees of the Lord are completely peaceful because they know that they surrender unto the Lord. And so whatever the Lord provides for them, they're happy with that. And they don't need to do anything that's very difficult. They just need to chant the holy names of the Lord, remember the Lord, and just by doing that, they attain they attain the highest perfection. Because just by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can reawaken our lost relationship with Krishna. And Krishna, then at the time of death, he takes us back to his eternal abode, and there we can live eternally with him, engaging in blissful, loving relationships with him, and blissful, loving service to the Lord. So that's why the devotee is very peaceful, because he's confident in Krishna's protection. He knows that Krishna is going to take me, he's going to give me he's going to take me back to his own abode, and there I'll be completely happy. Whereas the other people, they depend on their own effort, right? They think that if I do this, then I'm going to get this result. So it's all about them. So that's why they're not peaceful. They're like a little bit anxious because, if something happens, then if they don't manage to do it properly, then it'll be a failure. But the devotee doesn't have that fear of failing or of something going wrong, because he knows that Krishna is always going to be there for him to make sure. There's a nice verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says that Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana parupasate tesham nitya bhayuktanam yogakshemam bahamyaham. That for one who is always engaged in my devotional service, he's always remembering me, he takes shelter in me, then for him I carry what he lacks and I preserve what he has. So the devotee has faith in this. He's not worried that, maybe I won't become perfect, maybe I'll be lacking something, because whatever the devotee lacks, Krishna carries for him. And whatever the devotee has also, the Lord preserves that. He doesn't let it become destroyed or get taken away by anyone. So the materialists, they're always, in anxiety, thinking that my money may be stolen by somebody, or if I make a mistake, I may lose it somehow. But the devotee is not worried because he knows that Krishna is taking care of everything for him. And so the devotee is peaceful. So this is some of the wonderful position, some of the wonderful glories of being a devotee of the Lord, taking shelter of the Lord. It's the most secure position. It awards eternal benefit. It awards the greatest benefit. And by taking to this process, taking shelter of the Lord, we can be completely peaceful and attain the highest happiness. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is saying, just become a devotee of me, and that'll solve all your problems. That'll make you completely happy. And so, this is also the message of this verse. It says here, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles. So this is talking about the devotee, right? Who doesn't make it in one life. He comes back, and he automatically becomes attracted to yogic principles. So we can actually see this. Like I can tell the example of my father. My father, he was born in Brazil, and he grew up in a normal family. There was like no spirituality. There was no temple nearby him. Nobody knew anything about Krishna. But he had in his heart, he had this strong feeling like, I'm not meant for this kind of life. What's the use of just working all day and trying all week and just trying to enjoy on the weekends by taking drugs which destroy your body and only last for like whatever, few minutes or few hours, and then you're even worse than you were when you started. And eating is like, all of the pleasures are so temporary, and after enjoying them, you just feel worse. So you're thinking, there's got to be something more to life than just, working hard, trying to enjoy, getting frustrated, getting sick, and dying. So he was always thinking and searching, and so Krishna, who's in the heart of everyone, even if it seemed like there's no devotees, there's no temple around, Krishna is always there with you in your heart as your best friend and your guide. And so Krishna, he guided him. So one day one person came and said, there's this yoga course in the next city. It was actually in Rio de Janeiro, which was a city like 1,000 miles away. But he thought, he thought, I want to go there. So he just quit his job, he left everything, he got on the bus and went there. And in that place, he heard about the Bhagavad Gita. The yoga person was talking about the Bhagavad Gita. And so he immediately became attracted to the Bhagavad Gita, and he told his friend that I would like to have the Bhagavad Gita. And by Krishna's arrangement, his friend gave him, on his birthday, the Bhagavad Gita of Srila Prabhupada. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And so he got that Bhagavad Gita, and he just went to the mountains and he was just reading it. And by reading the Bhagavad Gita, he came to understand that he was like, oh, Prabhupada's always saying we need to associate with devotees. So then he was like, how do I find devotees? Where are devotees? And then, after a few days, somebody told him, there are some devotees in the next village. And so he met the devotees, and he was really inspired by them, because he saw that actually they're actually living this, the teachings that I'm reading about in the Bhagavad Gita, they're actually living them. And so he became inspired. Oh yeah, and there's one more thing. He said that when he first came to that devotee's house, he saw on their shelf the Bhagavatam set. And he said that he had that strong impression that he had seen that book before, but he had never seen it in this life. So this shows he had some previous contact with the devotees, and that's why he was naturally always looking for it, where is the spirituality in life? And then by Krishna's arrangement, he found it. So this just shows how, our spiritual practice never goes in vain, and Krishna always helps us to come back to that spiritual life, the spiritual path, once we're sincere. I said that Krishna, he's sitting in our heart, and he's just waiting for us to turn to him, because for so many years, we're just trying to enjoy ourselves, trying to forget about God. But Krishna's just waiting for us to turn to him, and when we finally do, then he's so happy, and he makes all arrangements for us so that we can come closer to him. Also, there's the story of Narada Muni, right? Narada Muni, in his previous life, it said that he was born as a son of a maidservant. And but one day, some devotees came to his house, and his mother was serving them. And it said that Narada Muni, he had this previous inclination for spiritual life. And so even though he was a small boy, he was always very eager to hear from these persons, from these devotees. And so he would hear about Krishna from them, and he would try to serve them whenever he could. He would serve them their meals and take away their dishes. And so just by hearing about Krishna from the devotees, then Narada Muni, he became also the great saint, Narada Muni. So the process of devotional service is very wonderful, in that it gives us eternal benefit. And also it's easy to practice, right? We just need to chant the holy names of the Lord, hear about the Lord. It said that the process recommended for this age is to chant the holy names of the Lord, especially the Hare Krishna mantra, which is mentioned here in this purport: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in order to keep ourselves inspired, to remember why we should chant, then we should also hear. We should hear about Krishna, hear about the glories of chanting, sometimes also, actually Purushottam Mass is coming up soon, and in the Bhagavad Gita, there is one chapter called Purushottam Yoga, chapter 15, and it said that it's very auspicious to recite this 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita during this Purushottam month. And so in the 15th chapter, this world is compared to an upside down banyan tree. That's how this chapter starts. And yeah, so if you have a reflection, then you can't really enjoy anything in the reflection, right? If you have a mango and it's reflected in the water, you can't enjoy the reflected mango. You have to get the real mango. So that's what Krishna is telling us in this chapter, that everything in this world is just a reflection. So that's why you're not able to actually get any happiness, real tangible happiness from this world. But sometimes people may think, why is Krishna giving us this depressing outlook on the world, like there's no happiness, it's a place of suffering, it's temporary. But it's actually because he wants to give us something the true thing that's really happy. He's not just saying, this is a reflection, you're not going to get happiness from it. He's saying, here, take the real thing, then you can enjoy it. It's like if a child has in his hand, a ball of dirt and he wants to eat it, then the parents are going to tell him, that the dirt is going to make you sick. It's full of, dirty things. And so they're going to tell him that it's bad, throw it away. And then wash your hands and then I'll give you a nice sweet. So in order to accept the spiritual world, we have to give up the material world. So that's why Krishna is saying, that's why Krishna tells us, right, that this world is not a nice place to be, so that we can develop detachment from it, and then we can leave this place behind and go to the spiritual world. Because Krishna is not going to force us to leave if we want to stay here. So we have to actually develop that detachment. That I don't want to be in this place anymore. Why should I be here if I can be in the spiritual world, right? The spiritual world is such a nice place. So also that's another part. We should also hear about the glories of the spiritual world. What a nice place it is. Then we can develop a desire to go there. And so that's explained in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And so then when we know what a nice place the spiritual world is, then we'll become eager to go there. And then we'll become enthusiastic to follow the process. So that's why hearing is important. It makes us enthused to actually chant sincerely, chant with attention, to accept what's favorable, whatever is favorable for devotional service. For example, also the Bhagavad Gita talks a lot about the modes of nature, how the mode of goodness is most favorable for developing Krishna consciousness. For example, like waking up early, being regulated, eating food that's healthy, it's wholesome, and also keeping an environment that's clean, that's organized. And these things all help us to practice spiritual life, to calm the mind, make the mind peaceful, and then we can do our chanting nicely. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Anything you'd like to share or add? How many of you have read the Bhagavad Gita fully? No? Do you know that just by reading 2 pages every day, you can finish the whole Gita in 1 year? That's not too difficult, is it? How long does it take to read 2 pages of Bhagavad Gita? Maybe like 10 minutes? I'm sure everyone can do that, right? Take 10 minutes of your day to read Bhagavad Gita. You get so much wonderful knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita. There's a nice book, it's called Gita Mahatmya. I think it's written by Lord Shiva. So that book describes the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So then he's saying that there's a nice verse there. He says that Jalasnanam dine dine, just as daily we take a bath with water to cleanse our body. So similarly, we should also bathe our soul by daily reading the Bhagavad Gita. That by reading the Bhagavad Gita daily, we become free from all the contamination of material life. And so, so it's important also to, nowadays, people, they're all about giving importance to taking care of the body. But Krishna is telling us in the Bhagavad Gita that we're actually the soul. So we should do something for our soul, for the benefit of the soul. So just like we feed the body, we bathe the body, we should also cleanse the soul by reading Bhagavad Gita, by chanting the holy names also. Also the holy names, they cleanse our heart. Lord Chaitanya wrote this nice prayer about the holy name. Cheto darpana marjanam, pavamahadavagni nirvapanam. That by chanting the holy names of Lord, then it cleanses the dust from our heart, which is compared to a mirror. Just like if the mirror is full of dust, then we can't see. Similarly, if when our heart is full of dust, then we can't see who we are. But when we chant, then we can understand I'm actually the soul, and we can see even that Krishna is also there in the heart, in our loving relationship with Krishna. Okay, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to understand, it's the mood, right? Also, whatever we do in devotional life, it also needs to be done in the right mood. So I just wanted to get your thought that often there are people that may read the Bhagavad Gita, or they may do something spiritual, but they may do it with a different intention other than to please Krishna. But ultimately, Krishna says that whatever desire you come with me, ultimately you get purified. Is that correct? Just wanted to get your thought on that. Sometimes it becomes transactional. People say like, "I'll do devotional service," and then you tell me you can do this for me, Krishna. That can happen for me. Like, and we know even in the past people that have read the Gita with ulterior motive other than to understand Krishna. So what's your thought on that?
Thank you for a nice question. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, then the purpose should be to understand Krishna. Otherwise, Prabhupada said that, if we just read the Bhagavad Gita for some political purpose, then we don't get the true benefit of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, probably we get some benefit by, reading the name of the Lord, reading the instructions of the Lord, but if we have no intention of actually applying it or accepting it to heart, then it can do little benefit to us. That's why Srila Prabhupada said that we should hear from a devotee the Bhagavad Gita, because then we can get the real understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. I have a friend, and she said that she went to school in India, and there the kids sometimes they have these memorization competitions, and they memorize shlokas from the Gita, but they don't learn any of the meaning. It's just something they learn and they recite, and they don't get any understanding of it. So that kind of reading Bhagavad Gita is not very useful. We should try to understand the real meaning from a devotee. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. And the mood you mentioned also is important, right? Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. So this is the mood we should try to learn Bhagavad Gita, with submission, by rendering service to a devotee who has who first of all, who has a proper understanding by coming in the disciplic succession. Because the way we receive knowledge is by understanding it through the disciplic succession. So we have here we have the last four devotees from the disciplic succession, and this disciplic succession goes all the way up to Lord Krishna, who himself spoke the Bhagavad Gita, and actually the Bhagavad Gita is coming down from many millions of years. In the 4th chapter, it talks about how Krishna, he instructed this Bhagavad Gita to the sun god Vivishwan some millions of years ago. So similarly, our disciplic succession, it's coming down from Lord Krishna. Krishna instructed the same knowledge to Lord Brahma, and he instructed it to Narada Muni, Narada instructed it to Vyas, and in this way it's coming down. So this way the perfect knowledge is coming down. So Krishna himself, he's the all-knowing Supreme Lord, he gives the perfect knowledge to Brahma, and Brahma again, he speaks the same knowledge. So in this way, we should try to learn the Bhagavad Gita from the disciplic succession, because then we get the perfect understanding as it was revealed by the Lord himself and realized by the pure devotees. And so we have Srila Prabhupada, he's coming down from this disciplic succession. There are actually 4 bona fide disciplic successions called the Brahma Sampradaya. We're coming from the Brahma Sampradaya, where Krishna spoke to Lord Brahma. Then there's also the Kumara Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. So there are these 4 bona fide sampradayas that we should try to understand the knowledge coming from these sampradayas. Then we can get proper understanding, and then we should also approach with the proper mode of submission, render service, and then the devotees, they'll be obliged, they'll become very pleased with us by our mode of submission and service, and then they'll be pleased to reveal all the truths of Bhagavad Gita and make sure that they explain it in a way that we understand it. Yeah. Two different questions. Okay. So the first one was about chanting loudly or quietly, right? Yeah, so if you don't feel comfortable to chant loudly, you can chant in your mind. That's also good. That's also beneficial. And then about chanting the different names of the Lord, or chanting specific mantra, right? Mm-hmm. He does Ram, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so again, it comes back to the disciplic succession, because the mantra, it's when we receive the mantra coming down from the spiritual line of gurus, then it gives it special power. It gives us the power to actually chant that mantra purely. So that's why it's important to follow the mantra that's specially recommended from the line of spiritual teachers. Of course, every name of Krishna, it gives us spiritual benefit when we chant it. But this Hare Krishna Mahamantra specifically is recommended for this age as the sacrifice for this age, Sankirtana Yagya. And so that's why this process is given special stress also by our teachers, because this is the process recommended. So we, in the Bhagavad Gita also it says that ashastra vidhim utsrija vartate kamakartha nasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam na paramgatim. That we should try to follow the injunctions of the scriptures, not follow something whimsically. Because if we don't follow the scriptures, then we cannot attain success, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. So that's why it's always important to back up whatever spiritual practice we do by scriptures and by the sadhus. It's said that in the spiritual path, in order to be perfectly safe, that we're doing the right thing, we should always confirm with the three things: with the guru, with the sadhu, and the shastra. That means the spiritual teachers that are coming in the line of disciplic succession, the bona fide scriptures, and also the different devotees who follow this path. Thank you. Anything else? So maybe we can stop here. We're going to have the arti in 2 minutes. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.
जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद श्री राधे। जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद श्री राधे। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। की बजय जय गौरा चंदे आरती को शोभा की बजया जय गौरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जानवी तटवानी जग मन लोभा जानवी तटवानी जग मन लोभा दक्षिणताय चान बामे गदाधार निकटे अद्वैता श्रीदेव वास चत्रधार बोसियाचे गौराचन रत्न सिंहासने बोसियाचे गौराचन रत्न सिंहासने आरती कोरेन ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने नरहरि आदि कोरी चामर धुलाया संजय मुकुंदा बासु घोष आदि गाया शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल मधुर मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्र जीरे वदन उज्ज्वला बहु कोटि चंद्र जीने वदन उज्ज्वला कालदेशे बनमाला कोरे जलमाला शिवा शुक नारदा प्रेमे गदगादा भक्ति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपदा की बजय जय गौरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जानवी तटवानी जग मन लोभा गौरांगेरारति को शोभा जग जन मान लोभा गौरांगेरारति को शोभा जग जन मान लोभा गौरांगेरारति को शोभा जग जन मान लोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ताय स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gokulanand Radha Gokulanand Radha Gokulanand Shri Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Hare Krishna, everybody, please bow down, heads touching the floor, and we will chant Prema Dhvani prayers. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashto Tarasata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanara Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashto Tarasata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories unto the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please be seated, and we're going to chant some prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, the ferocious half-man, half-lion, manifestation, incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. You can see his portrait front left of the temple room as you face their lordships. Lord Nrsimhadev protects us in our bhakti and in every way.
Namaste Nara Simhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Dayine. Pralada Lada Dayine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankana Kalaye. Shilatankana Kalaye. Ito Narshingo Para To Narsimha. Ito Narsimha Para To Narsimha. Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimha. Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimha. Bahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Bahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गां केशवदिता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे अद्भुत शृङ्गार दलिता केशवद्वेता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नृसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरहरि जय नरहरि जय नरहरि जय नरहरि जय भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल श्री श्री नरसिंह भगवान की भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
Hare Krishna, everyone. So we'll be continuing with the kirtans until 9 o'clock. So please do join after prasad, or you can just stay here and have prasad at 9 o'clock. Hare Krishna.